Thanks for joining me on Wilderness with Amani. I'm at the Eagle Falls trailhead and I'm going to try to hike up to Eagle Lake and go fishing today. It's late in the year, but it hasn't been that cold. And I'm hoping the lake isn't covered with ice or something weird like that. It's only a mile hike in. I got this hike on my hiking and backpacking playlist for my channel. So I'm just going to get up there and fish. It's going to start raining today at about 1, it said. And so I got everything rigged up. I'm going to hike in a mile. I'm going in hot. I'm going to try to get some fish. I'm just going to fish single barbless catch and release today. I'm going to fish these little jigs. And then I just got a beadhead pheasant tail on. I got a number of beadheads. And I'm I got about an 8-foot leader. And I'm just going to charge up there, try to catch something before it starts raining. I got waterproof pants on, but I can't wear my rain jacket because when I'm wearing the chest harness, the rain jacket makes too much noise. And it's like, and, you know, it's already tough enough to deal with the wind and my lack of editing skills as it is to add that to it. So I'm going to start hiking. It's about 8 a.m. and I should have about 3 or 4 hours to catch something. So hopefully, step 1, get there. Step 2, find that it's ice free. Step 3, catch something. But this is a pretty late time to be hiking into the backcountry in December. But let's go give it a shot. I have a lot of layers on. So my strategy is if it starts raining, I'm just gonna get wet. I have a complete change of clothes in the car and it's only a mile hike. So with that said, I should be okay if I get a little soaking on the way out. The last time I came here was the first time, and I got some browns, and this was the first place I used 1/8 ounce marabou jigs. And then I tried them in the river. I've never looked back. And here's Eagle Falls in that outlet stream. There's the falls. It's nice to see the river's got water in it though. I just wonder if I can cross it. It's a little bit of ice and frost on some of these rocks, so I've got to kind of keep my eyes open. And here we are, entering the Desolation Wilderness. So here's solid ice on the trail that you can see. The ice down there gets dusty. Can't see it so well. What I'm looking out for are the small patches of ice that I can't see. That's what's gonna get me today, if I get got. So there's a lot of ice, but it looks like I'm gonna be able to figure something out. That's a no-go in that corner. There's a thin sheet that goes up to the bank there, but it looks like it might open up in the back if those reflections are true. So it ain't ideal, but this is gonna be it. The part that was over flooded last time, but this is easy crossing now. So I might have to just settle for fishing this little area right here because I'm kind of thinking the danger of crossing these boulders might be more than I'm willing to do today. Because crossing just this little bit, I mean, I was climbing. And I got open water, and I don't know if it's necessarily going to be any better over there than it's going to be over here. So I figure why not just throw my nymph out right here and see if I can catch something easy. Because, I mean, I want to catch fish, but I don't want to get hurt. Not getting anything on my fly rod. I don't do good with nymphs when the water's really glassy like this anyway. So I've gone ahead and put on an 1/8 ounce jig, marabou jig, and I'm fishing a little deeper. I've seen some risers, small fish, but they're way out there. And the wind's starting to come up, and I'm hoping that'll help. I don't know. There's not a lot of life going on up here. This lake looks like it's ready to go to bed for the winter. So we'll see if I can get some fish, man. Jig, he's jumping all over the place. And I'm just fishing it kind of like a Rapala. Where's my net? And this is a brown trout. There's browns in here. And I got some good ones last time. Let's see if we can't get this guy in a net. I might have to go to a woolly bugger because they just don't seem to want my nymph. Let me get my hand wet. I'll have to get my hand wet off this net. I can't really reach the water. I don't want to fall in. There's a nice little Eagle Lake brown. It's the last chance for him to get caught this year because it's going to get cold. Get him back in there. There he goes, back out into the water. This is one of those things where I don't bring a lot of variety today, so whatever I got, I have to make it work. You know, I got those rubber jigs, I got marabou jigs, 1/8 and 16th ounce. I got beadhead nymphs, and I got woolly buggers. But this is what I'm doing with this. I'm just jerking it in, kind of just like I fish the Rapalas. And the nice thing about this is this jig has a really good darting action. And I always recommend whenever you're fishing a lure, I always watch what it does when it gets close to me. And that way, when it's out there, you kind of know what it's doing. So what I'm doing with this is I'm letting it sink to different depths. And then I'm going to see if I can't pick up some browns. The wind's starting to come up. I'm fishing this jig different ways. Now I'm just kind of skipping it across the bottom, down deep. Because I know there's some brookies in here. There's rainbows and there's browns. So I'm just trying to do a couple of things. I've gotten a couple of hits though. So since I'm getting hits on this, why fight it? I'm just going to keep throwing this thing and see if I can't make something happen, you know. Ooh, there you go. I mean, I'm getting hits. They're hitting it. Man, I put this woolly bugger on. And I didn't see a big fish, but this little guy came and just nailed it. And I didn't get a hook set, but he's out there. So that big rock wall right there, last time I was here, there were people with ropes climbing that thing. I guess they were practicing for something bigger, or for me, who doesn't like heights, that's as big as it needs to get. I don't want to get any bigger than that, man. It's getting ugly out here real quick. So I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to put in on this stuff. But let me, I'm starting heading back to the trailhead, man. Because if it starts coming down, I want to get out of here as quickly as possible. Brown. Oh, he got off. He got off. He came right up and hit that thing, man. That was a good brown. Come on, let's go. It's gonna start raining any second. They're coming right up and hitting it right there. So I gotta keep fishing this time. And that one hit it. This wind kicked up and it seems to have kicked things into action on this jig. This is a nice brown. He's all wrapped up. Ooh, got him. There he is in the net. That's a beautiful brown for an alpine lake. Let me get my other hand wet. There he is. That's a nice brown trout right there. Woo! There he goes. The stiff wind has come up, and all of a sudden I came out to this water that has deep water, and then it gets shallow. And there's some nice fish. I lost a nice rainbow, and I've already lost a brown that you saw was jumping around on the water. But there's some good sized fish in this lake, man. Good up down off the bottom. I let that jig go all the way down, and then I just slowly jigged it. And it's another brown. These browns are hitting, boy. They're hitting. Oh, that's a brown trout. Yep. Oh yeah. Get my hands wet here. There he's in the net. Really beautiful fish, man. And I took this guy right off the bottom. That was a good fish right there. Woo! Beautiful. There he goes. Back out to the depths. So I'm doing a bunch of different retrieves, you know. The fishing's a little tough today. So what I was doing there is I cast it out. The water's fairly deep here. And I just let it go all the way down. And I'm just skipping it right across the bottom really fast. And that's the first fish I got deep. The other ones I was doing that side retrieve and I was just ripping it through. Now I'm on the bottom and now I'm just going pop, 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 pop. And he picked that up down. He was down there. The wind opened up some of this water at the front by the outlet, and I just hit a good fish. I just threw my jig right to the edge of the ice, and he nailed it. I threw that jig and skipped it. He was out over the logs, and that's a nice alpine lake fish right there. Let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Oh, my hands are freezing. This water's cold. Check out this fish. That's a beautiful brown trout right there. Look at that baby. Woo! Get back out there. There you go. Zoom! There's ice and there's logs. So what I had to do is I'm throwing it out and I'm immediately skipping it, because if I let it sink, it's gonna hit the logs and it's gonna be a disaster. But I was able to get it in there and hold it in that zone long enough. I mean, a day like today, I came and I wasn't sure I was even gonna be able to catch anything, because it was just, I wasn't getting any action. But now I gotta get this 1/8 ounce jig to dance over these logs, and that's how I hit that fish, man. It's just really fast, and I'm doing short skips, and I'm skipping it over these logs. And the key is, don't get caught in the logs. Here's a great look. The beautiful lake, Eagle Lake in Desolation Wilderness. I'll be fishing for my Wilderness with Amani Patreon tomorrow, so this will be it till at least Wednesday. But it was great. When I first got here, I wasn't liking the looks of things. I mean, I wasn't seeing any activity, no risers, nothing was following it. And then that wind came up and they started feeding and showing up. And everything I got was browns. I hooked one rainbow. He came right up under my feet and he followed the jig all the way in and then swam up and grabbed it, and I set the hook, but he got off. And he had a big red stripe, but he was just a little one, you know, little like 10, 11 incher maybe. But I got some nice browns, and that last one was the kicker. And the wind opened up this water, but I fished it for a couple minutes. I didn't get anything. I fly fished a little bit, got one hit on a woolly bugger, but it was just, once that wind came up, I just didn't want to hassle with it. And I didn't have a lot of time to sit there and do slow casts. I had to get as much as I could. It's gonna start raining any minute. And even though I said I was willing to hike out of here in the rain and change my clothes, I caught 4 decent fish. I'd rather go home dry. So I hope you enjoyed this last chance at Eagle Lake. It's gonna be, the temperatures are dropping 10 to 15 degrees next week. It's gonna snow like 4 days straight. So I think I might be one of the last people to get a shot at these fish unless someone comes up here and fishes in the next couple of days. So thank you for joining me on Wilderness with Amani. Until next time.